This is why the 2005 Pride and Prejudice is better than the 95 BBC version, scene by scene, part 1.
Alright, this is the first ball where we're introduced to Bingley and Darcy. Notice right away the sets, costumes, and extras for later comparison. Now the song just ended and here they come. Now this scene's supposed to show us what a big deal they are and the actors are acting that way, but there's nothing in the filmmaking that would give us that information if we didn't already know.
Mr. Bingley.
Even this greeting on its own only works in context. If we didn't already know from prior scenes that Bingley was rich and important, we might think this guy was just being an attentive host.
There's nothing that I love better than a country dance.
Now notice that they enter, are greeted, and then the party moves on. Now we're going to get some reactions and exposition from this conversation, but the way these different components are edited with the entrance and then the reactions is very straightforward and ultimately lacks impact for me.
Mr. Hurst, the taller gentleman. Oh no, the other. Better and better. They're very elegant. Better pleased with themselves than what they see, I think.
Alright, let's look at the 2005 version. Right away, the extras, the setting, the costumes, and the energy of the scene are already more dynamic. Now these scenes with Elizabeth and Jane are important because they orient us in the space so we know where they are for what's about to happen. Now think again about impact. The way this shot is framed gives this entrance an air of mystery with their backs to us, and then they're finally noticed and the music and dancing stops as everyone looks at these new arrivals. We go from that reaction to the more detailed reactions of our main characters. If this was the first scene in the movie, we would know that these characters were somehow significant.
How good of you to come.
So much of the painted peacock.
Now notice we're getting similar exposition and conversation from Elizabeth, but this is happening during the entrance. So not only are we getting needed background, but this becomes a character moment for Elizabeth as well. We see her not being impressed with the pomp and circumstance that has the rest of the room in a trance. And finally, we're setting up future conflict and character dynamics that are going to be important for the whole story. Elizabeth not being impressed by the wealth, Darcy subtly snubbing her by looking away, but then Elizabeth's reaction, which shows that maybe she cares a little more than she lets on. For me, there's no question about which of these versions is more effective.